Well, hello everybody and welcome to RBR Australia Motorsport Talk Episode 3. My name's Rick Burt.
My name's Nathan Whittle.
And thank you, Nathan, for attending our third instalment of Motorsport Talk. So thank you to all the people that have subscribed, liked our page. Nathan, what are your thoughts of our first two episodes?
It's been a lot of fun. We're just doing this because we're passionate motorsport enthusiasts and have been attending the events. And there's so much talk on the event days between competitors and spectators, and we just really wanted to see if we could create a focal point for this that wasn't necessarily on the event day, so we can carry on the fun before and after as well. But the response we've got is incredible. It's awesome to know that people are watching and enjoying it.
Yeah, so thank you all out there in YouTube land and Facebook land, and we really appreciate the feedback also. So make sure you click on the subscribe button and give us a like, spread the word around, share the links, whatever you'd like. We are open to suggestions, and we've had a couple of really good suggestions on the way we go about things, so it's been very, very welcomed, and we do appreciate that. And just on another thing, with Nathan and I representing RBR Australia, we're not representing the Northwest Car Club as such, but both being financial members, we are quite active in the club, and our views that we have here on Motorsport Talk aren't necessarily the views of the Northwest Car Club or committee.
No, definitely not. We're just a huge fan of the events and attend as competitors and spectators and officials, and it's more of an informal chat, the kind of stuff that we would have as officials, spectators and competitors on the day, that we're just wanting to extend out to everyone else who's there.
So yeah, we like to do the pre-event and of course keep it nice and easy, fun, and with a little bit of comedic humour in there as well, Nathan. I'm not sure how we've scored there, maybe a 4.5 out of 40 maybe at this stage, but we'll keep plugging away at it. So yeah, big thank you to the Northwest Car Club for putting on another event. So this Saturday, the 8th of March, it is round 2 of the Monson Transport Black Tack Series. So that is the Anvers Tasmania Trowutta Hillclimb. And a big, big thank you to Wayne Monson for sponsoring the Monson Transport Black Tack Series for 2025, and also Igor Van Gerwen, who is sponsoring round 2, which is the Anvers Tasmania Trowutta Hillclimb. So a big thank you to those people, and they quite often compete themselves. So they're not just sponsors, naming rights sponsors, are they, Nathan? They both compete on a regular basis.
They're passionate competitors who believe in what we do, and because it's what they want to do, same as all the rest of us, which is really, really awesome. So the fact that they're able to put that sponsorship behind the event and keep it going is fantastic. And a couple of the big names that we've got to thank behind all of this is Roger and Kelly Carter from Carter Mechanical, who are the absolute workhorses behind this event, and it's one of my absolute favourites on the calendar. It's hard to pick, there's so many good ones, but I love Trowutta.
Yeah, indeed, and Roger's a long time member of the Northwest Car Club and a stalwart in that, and he's very, very passionate about his motorsport and helping others to get to different events like this, because it is a fair way up the Northwest Coast, but it always seems to have good entries because it's a good circuit. And thank you everyone that went on Saturday to the Working Bee up there. Without you guys and girls support with mowing and slashing and cleaning and getting the spectator areas and the pit area up to scratch, we wouldn't be able to run the event. So a big thank you to the people that went on Saturday to the Working Bee.
Truly, and it's always such an immaculately presented event up in the paddock up the top there. There's a couple of peculiarities about the Trowutta Road Hill Climb that I really love, one of which it has the pit at the top of the hill rather than at the bottom. So there's a couple of interesting things about it, but it's an awesome sunny day up at the top of the hill with everybody there, and seeing all the cars lined up, and it's really cool from the competitor perspective, being able to all drive down in your splits, everyone weaving and warming their tyres up on the way down the hill, and then firing off back up and meeting up again at the top. It's cool.
So look, to all competitors and spectators, please get along. As I said, it's Saturday the 8th of March, and it is a 10:30 start for the event, as in competition will start at 10:30. So please make sure you're there plenty early to set up in the pits with all the cars and the trailers, and to position our officials, drivers briefing, all those sort of things, documentation. So make sure you're there plenty early to get in there and get things ready so we can have a nice smooth day at Trowutta.
Yes, indeed. And just to touch again on the spectators, I would have to say it's probably one of the best hill climbs for spectating.
It is.
It is definitely.
It's a great. What we got 3 positions you can go to, and there is a spectator bus. So that everything comes at a cost for the car club. So it's $5 for the ticket, and you can get on and off that bus as many times as you like during the day. So $5 is nothing. That wouldn't even buy you a cup of coffee. So please support and be social and be polite to the bus driver.
I'm super stoked for it, and it's actually going to be my first round this year. You will be helping out as an official, as per usual, if you're not racing.
Indeed I will, yes. So if there's any other people that would like to officiate, we need to contact Roger Carter. And once again, a big thank you to Roger and Kelly, because this is their baby event, I suppose, and we wouldn't be able to do it without the big help from Roger and Kelly from Carter Mechanical in Smithton. So a long time supporter of the car club, and multiple generations of the Carters help us out there with the Northwest Car Club. So we might get on to the entrants, Nathan, if you'd like to start with the entrants list.
Yes, let's have a little bit of a look and see who we're in for. So first cab off the rank that I have here is Tim Harris in a Subaru WRX. I don't know Tim, but I'm expecting we'll see a couple of Subarus in the listing here today. Ethan Clark in the BMW 320i. I do know well. Ethan's an excellent character, someone that I personally met purchasing a handbrake for our sim racing rigs off the internet. I bought one off him, we got chatting, we started racing on the internet. He's just got his P's, bought a car, and he's coming down to his first event. So it's an incredible transition, and he can steer. So yeah, I'm really excited to see how this is one's going to go for Ethan. And he's driving from Hobart to Smithton for the event. That's keen as beans.
That's a big commitment, and this is what we're trying to encourage here at RBR Australia, is to introduce some not necessarily younger drivers, but newer competitors
absolutely,
that don't really know what club to join, how to join on the Motorsports Australia members portal and stuff like that, to make life a little bit easier for Yvonne Payne. And once again, while we're mentioning Yvonne and Karen, a big thank you to Yvonne and Karen, and of course the Clark course and the other officials that make this happen. So a big welcome to Ethan Clark, and he's in a Class B BMW 320i.
It's very nice. I've had a little bit of a steer of that car myself. I was lucky enough to. We swapped when we caught up not so long ago, and it's very nice. It's the kind of thing that I'd always want to be driving, and now having driven one, I can confirm it's everything I thought it would be. It's going to do well. Next up is Jesse Harris in a Prelude, which is very cool. We don't see a whole stack of Preludes, but they are one of the nicer looking Hondas, I think. And I can see that this is classed for juniors, so I'm expecting that Jesse is probably a young gun, and that's wicked to see.
That's fantastic. And of course, the juniors are age 14 and over. So 14, 15, 16 or 17, they must be under 18 to classify in Class J as a junior, but everyone's welcome at the Northwest Car Club.
Absolutely is, and no stranger to the Northwest Car Club is Adrian Hodgetts in the 240Z.
So there's another one there I can see, Nathan, is Adam Robertson in a Datsun 1600. So that should be in Class B, so that'll be interesting to see that one as well. There's nothing like a P510, which is the Nissan code for the Datsun 1600, so that should be really good as well. Another competitor that I can see that people should be familiar with is Nathan Whittle from Penguin. So Nathan Whittle has a CE Lancer 4-door sedan, and he'll be running in Class B.
I've had some of my best days racing at Trowutta. It often seems it's the first hill climb of the season, and you come back after a couple of months off and often surprise yourself by just going that extra little second faster. And we've done a bit of work to the car. Thanking you very much, Rick.
My pleasure, treasure.
And a massive shout to Stephen Smith at Torque Automotive, and to Stephen Reeves at Tyre Right. We've done a little bit of work to the car over the summer, and I'm hoping to take a second or so off. We'll see how we go.
Did somebody mention RB Double M Vehicle Transport?
No, I didn't mention the big title sponsor for my car, which is RBR Vehicle Transport. But yeah, it's very clear to me and to so many of the other people around that I wouldn't be racing if it wasn't for you and what you consistently do for us.
Cool.
Yeah.
At least I didn't go on about it.
Yeah.
So the next car is a Mazda RX-7, and this is normally a gravel car of Mitch Roberts. This is the Series 4 RX-7, and that should be quite interesting, that one up the Trowutta Hill Climb.
Have we seen it at Trowutta before? I'm sure I've seen it. Have I seen it at Barrington before?
It's a very good question.
I've definitely seen it on gravel before.
Well, yes, and I don't like it when you put me on the spot, Nathan. It makes me look like a pill.
I just assume that you know everything because you usually have an answer to everything.
Well, I've normally got an answer for everything, but that doesn't necessarily say I know everything, but I'm working at it. So. And next we've got Nick Grave from Coastal Auto Transport. He's running a Subaru Impreza STI Spec C, so that should be another interesting one as well.
I imagine it will be fairly swift.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
And once again, Nick is a regular on the gravel scene, so it will be interesting to see how he goes on the asphalt. And I don't see why Nick wouldn't be right up there in the results in the top 10.
Cool.
Quite easily. And another Subaru WRX is our very own Craig Brooks, and another passionate Northwest Car Club member, so he'll be running a Subaru as well.
Another very fast Subaru up the hill, Class F P5, and that went very, very quickly around Symmons Plains last time.
My word, it did. Both Craig and
the mighty Molly Taylor.
Molly were in the 55s and 56 second bracket at Symmons Plains in round 1 of the Black Tack series, so yeah, that'll be another one to watch.
An absolute classic is Michael House in his Holden FX.
This is it's a Class D FX Holden, so it does have a V8 in it, so yeah, I believe it's a 253 Holden pushrod V8, so Michael is a regular at Baskerville and Symmons Plains, definitely the historics, and this is a very, 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 very interesting car. So if you get a chance in the pit area, have a good look at this one. It's certainly something different.
I've had a good look over this next car in the pit area, which is Robert Whiteway's Ford Escort.
Stunning. And it's a Ford.
Yeah. I mean, Ford's Holden's neither really all that much here or there for me, but an Escort's a rally car born, and yeah, we'll always forever have a soft spot for those gorgeous things. They're incredible.
Mark 1 and Mark 2 Escorts chucking gravel out in the forest. It really doesn't get any better than that, unless it's a big block Mirage. But that's another story. So Philip House in his, it'll be Helga, I suppose, in the BMW. So he'll be running up the hill at Trowutta in his car, and Philip's another long-time competitor at Baskerville, at Symmons Plains, and plenty of hill climbs and the Baskerville Historics. So yeah, he'll be another one to watch, because that thing is very, very quick, and Philip is like most of the houses, a very, very good steerers. So next is Hamish Elliott in a Hyundai Getz, a Class A car, so that will be one. And even though the cars are smaller in capacity, it is the first half can be a very tight sort of section of the course. Bit different to Highclere, which has a couple of longer straights and is probably a little bit steeper, but the chicane area at the first spectator spot is quite a tight little section, so yeah, don't be surprised if that is fair way up the field.
Truly. And it is a cool hill in the sense that, yeah, it's got some straights, and if you've got some power, it is going to give you some advantages, but it's got plenty of twisty little stuff, and you need to have a bit of guts, I think, on the chicane, because you're kind of just shifting up and then just staring at it all the way that long straight, just waiting for your last moment, and you really need whatever nimbleness you can get to avoid losing that speed before the second big straight around the corner after the chicane. So
absolutely.
If you don't have the horsepower to make it up, you best make sure you get the chicane right, is what I'm trying to do.
Which is not easy.
Looks good when you do, though.
Well, it does, and someone that is no stranger to good results, normally in Class C in the Starlet.
Yes.
But Aaron Bajaya, one of our really good sponsors and competitors, and great bloke, event director, he's running his mid-block Lancer coupe, which is the same engine capacity of Nathan Whittle's,
Yes.
except this is a two-door, so it's a 1834cc
And it's also 2 seconds faster than me everywhere.
at this point.
Man, Aaron's very, very quick.
Aaron's always hard to catch.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a bit like Roger Carter and his Pulsar, like virtually unbeatable in the class honours. So.
Yeah, so I'm expecting that to go very, very quickly. We have a very similar vehicle, but his goes very, very fast,
Yeah. Aidan Williams in the Toyota 86.
Fantastic. This will be his second one.
Yes, Aidan's first event was the Hillclimb at Barrington in his Toyota. So he proved for his first ever event there at that Hillclimb that he was quite competitive, and I think he surprised a few people. So
We were trading tenths all day, and he came out ahead, and that's just so ridiculously impressive on the hardest hill climb course in the state for his first time out. He might have it in his blood, Rick.
potentially he has, yeah, considering he's my second cousin. But, you know, we don't talk family because he may not be overly impressed with that. But anyway, let's go on to Howard Colvin. Howard,
Yes.
I'm sure everyone's seen Howard in his MX-5. He just competes in everything he possibly can, and
It shows. It's very quick.
very underrated competitor is Howard, and you watch. Very, very interesting to see where he ends up in the results in this MX-5, because he's very smooth, and smooth is fast, and that's the way Howard Colvin goes about his motorsport. So that'll be very, very interesting to see.
Looking at last year's results, he did a 54.22, and that's just a couple of tenths ahead of Robbie Whiteway's Escort, and then Aaron Bajaya in the Starlet just behind that. So this is a very, very quick MX-5 with Colvin behind it.
That's certainly up there. So next we've got another Class B junior in a Hyundai Elantra is Hugo Petter. So yeah, welcome again, Hugo. That'll be another interesting car in Class B, Nathan.
Yeah, it's always cool to see that, and you're just kind of sizing up what's going to be faster, what's not going to be faster, and that's an absolute question mark as far as whether it's, because you just kind of have no concept. It's such a unique vehicle, and I seem to think it's pretty quick. We shall certainly find out.
Indeed we will.
Don Stevens is pretty quick.
Don Stevens is pretty quick, yes.
He's next up in the Datsun 1200 Coupe, and am I right in thinking, yeah, he did a 52.39, which put him in 11th place last time, and I think he might have got driver of the day last time for that result. It was so quick. At our final split, I got to rock up to the spectator area and watch the last run through.
Yes, Don Stevens has been a long time competitor both in gravel rallying and some asphalt events. And look, with Don, the older he gets, the quicker he gets, and he was quick as a young man.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so that just goes to show what you're saying, Nathan, in the results for Don Stevens and his Datsun 1200. So
we don't know how old Don is, but how old is his car, roughly?
Early 70s.
Early 70s,
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just a couple of tenths.
Early 1970s.
Early 1970s.
Yeah.
He's just a couple of tenths out of the top 10 against all the fastest cars last year, so
That's cool.
Immaculate effort.
Yep. So thank you, Don, for coming up again. Big Block Mirage.
Big Block Mirage, C-Class Mirage, that's what we want. Out of all the Lancer and Mirage platforms, which we're obviously a fan of, the fastest and lightest version of them is the Mirage, and the biggest, well, not the biggest motor you can stick in them, but the 2.4 is the biggest you can stick in it before you start doing forced injection or chucking a V6 in there, and it's just the perfect scenario, really.
It is. Simple as that. It's just awesome.
The
Wow.
biggest engine you can chuck in there and the lightest chassis, and it turns like, yeah, it's ridiculous. So he did really well at the club day, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Very, very consistent. So he ran the Black Tack Series, and he also followed it up by running in the Tasmania Circuit Racing Championship the very next weekend as well.
Pretty keen.
Yeah, pretty keen indeed. And he also ran on Sunday at the Simmons Plains Classic Sprints as well. So
In that car?
in that car,
Is that a classic car? Is that how that works?
it's Classic is pre-2000 for that particular event on the
Cool,
weekend.
cool.
So I've got well, as you know, I've got several Mirages, but I think only one of them is actually a 99 model.
Yeah.
The others are 2001, 2002, and the last of the CE Mirages, which is 2003. So that's the Series 3 Mirage. So Keegan Buckley, another one of our favourites.
Absolutely, I'm stoked to see him racing.
Yeah, cool beans. So he's in the Super Pig VT Commodore, which is Class D, and it'll be interesting. Rob Shepherd is also running this car, and it'll be interesting to see these two, how they're going to compare times during the day.
Totally.
Rob will be chafing at the bit for a good result there, and there's always a bit of a crowd pleaser, Rob Shepherd, so it'll be very interesting to see those two going up the hill, and it's always good to see Buck and having a run. So yeah, thanks Keegs. We always look forward to seeing you, mate.
Yeah, and cheers Rob for getting him in the seat for sure. Last time we saw Keegan was absolutely smashing it as a stage commander for ARC Burnie last November, and that was a very full-on experience and for everyone involved, and everyone smashed it out of the park. I'm very, very keen for rally season, but no point even thinking about it till May. It's like waiting for Christmas to come.
It does eventually. Hamish Ferguson, Mazda RX-7, Class D. Once again, Ferg's a really good competitor, and we love the RX-7, the Group C tribute car, I suppose. And Ferg also ran the classic sprints on Sunday, so he'll be nice and fresh with driver time, and that'll be another one that should be able to get some revs up and go up the hill. So looking forward to that one.
We're blessed with some cool rotaries down here.
We are indeed.
We are.
Gary Hughes in a Jaguar XE, which is in Class D, so that'll be an interesting one to have a look at. And it's a late model Jaguar, so that'll do all the right things. So yeah, just something a bit different, which is what we like here at RBR Australia, and we'll be looking forward to seeing that one.
Next up is Rob Shepherd, obviously, in the Super Pig, and often with Zach Chadwick. Hasn't made it in today, but I reckon that's to get Keegan in, which is awesome. And so those boys will be battling it out by a couple of tenths all afternoon, I'd imagine, and the thing's only getting quicker.
Well, maybe Zach Chadwick is a silent co-driver. He may be sitting in the passenger side, crouched down and using a little bit of weight as ballast for going around the left and right hand corners, like a side chair passenger maybe.
If it was me, I'd be having him in the boot or over the back axles, so you can just put as much power as you can possibly get.
Yeah. And another thing on the Super Pig of Rob Shepherd's, have a look at the stickers, the liveries on it. The small stickers, they're not a copyright issue, but they are very popular stickers of some name brands, but he's changed them around to suggest otherwise, but fairly close to those name brands, and it's quite funny. So have a good look at the Super Pig while you're in the pit area there. Nathan Trelaw in a Porsche Cayman S Class D. That'll do all the right things, and I'm keen to see that one.
Absolutely. Why do I think of, when I see Porsche Cayman, why do I think of like a big SUV? No, that's the Cayenne.
Correct.
Yeah, that is the Cayenne. Yes. This thing's, as far as I'm aware, this has got like a roll cage and stuff in it, doesn't it?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
It's pretty quick and pretty impressive. If it's the one I'm remembering from Barrington, and I'm sure it is.
And it also ran at the first round of Black Tack Series, so
I wouldn't know.
Well, you do now.
I do now. Yeah, absolutely. I certainly want to get to as many of these as I can.
Indeed.
Good. And Brad's in. Brad's very, 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 very fast. And do I remember correctly that Brad won his class for last year? This is Bradley Vanderdrift in Class D, the Nissan 200 SX. And the thing is ridiculously dialed. You'll see him in the pits with the laptop out between runs, just figuring out, just doing finding those extra little hundredths. And he does find them, and very consistent, very lovely bloke, very, very fast.
Great car.
Yeah, it's wicked. I'm always stoked to see Brad in, which is awesome.
Yeah, so good on you, Brad, for coming up again. And Darren Anderson in the triple rotor Mazda RX-7, the red one. So that'll be it's got an insane sound, the 20B. So Ando's a good supporter of the club as well, and that'll be one you'll be you'll hear it from the whole area.
Totally. It's a staple car. Everyone knows that one, whether they know what an RX-7 is or not. If they've been to the Hillclimb, everyone remembers that one, whether you're a car person or not.
Definitely a crowd favourite, that one of Ando. So Simon Conroy, XR5 Ford Focus in Class D. So that's a 5-cylinder turbocharged thing.
That's going to be very quick.
Once again,
it looks cool too.
Very unique sound, and they're a real surprise packet, those ones. So that's another Class E competitor. We've got Jonathan Polk in a Corvette Stingray, a C8 Stingray. So that'll be a V8 one in Class E. Nathan, can you tell us any more?
I can. So that's Uncle John, and he's just returned and decided he wanted to get involved back into the club again. He's been heavily involved in Speedway since cars were racing, and in the Circular Head Car Club and Kart Club, very heavily involved, and has long been part of it. But he was having a chat to Roger, and has managed to find himself back at our club, which is fantastic. And he's got a couple of these. I've seen the yellow one, and it's very, very impressive. I've only seen pictures of the red one, which is the Stingray. It's a 2024, so this is a very fresh feeling car. And I'm really, really excited, A, to have a race with him, and B, just to see what that car's going to get away with up Trowutta Road. It is his home turf.
Well, it is, and I could have sworn you said race with him.
I'm not going to be racing with him. No.
The point being is you're racing the clock, you're not racing against it.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah, we're racing the clock, that's it.
Yes. Now, Pete Van Eck.
Yes.
V8 Holden EH.
That's the other Holden I was thinking of.
Yeah, great livery. Pete also ran in the classic sprints on Sunday as well at Simmons Plains, and appeared to be going really well. So that's another one. What a great looking car, and congratulations to Pete Van Eck. That's an absolute ripper, and that surprised a lot of people with how that looks, and it just looks so good. We're looking forward to that one. And also Mr. Entertainment himself in the RX-8, Dave McCullough. So Dave's got the V8 RX-8 again, and he's a real crowd pleaser. He doesn't need a lot of encouragement, and I noticed Wayne Monson's not running, so it might be only half Dave this weekend.
Yeah, we might actually see. I'm sure there'll be enough competition to get him riled up, but I'm expecting that thing to go very, very, very quick. Doesn't need a rotary, which is obviously some people are pretty offended by that kind of thing, but when you're contesting your class all the time, every event you enter, I mean, the proof's in the pudding, isn't it, really?
Definitely, mate, definitely. So, another Subaru STI of Nick Davison. So that'll be in Class F, which is for all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. Another Subaru, welcome back to Mitch Monday. He's must have his Subaru going again. He had a major fall off the road at Trowutta a little while back, and I know he was rebuilding the car, so I'm only assuming that this is the rebuilt car. So good luck to Mitchell, and welcome back. Mitchell's run a turbocharged Pulsar in the past as well at Highclere and stuff like that. So thanks very much, Mitchell, for making the effort and the work that's gone into this as well. So and the Subarus keep coming, and we've got Madeline Prentice, which is a young lady that does love her motorsport. Very welcoming, Madeline, to the Northwest Car Club and these events, and she just has an absolute ball. So
totally, on gravel, on tarmac, doesn't matter. She's getting faster all the time. Loads of fun, and she was our most improved. She was the most improved driver. For the whole year.
That's what I said. Yeah, for the whole entire season.
Yeah, absolutely. She was driver of the day at Barrington, I believe. She did the driver of the day at last Barrington, but also was most improved for the car club over last year's season, which is not messing around, because there's a lot of us in there trying to go as fast as we can, and to be most improved is impressive indeed.
Yeah, that's A+, Madeline. Well done. Thomas Stone's in another WRX Impreza.
I'm like, this thing is so fast, and he's so fast. I don't know how much improvement you can possibly get. It's always towards the top. Let's see what it did last year. So it did 6th overall, just behind Sheridan.
Outright.
Yeah, six outright last year, just ahead of Jacob Walsh in his WRX. It was just ahead of Lee Ford and Wayne Monson. There's with Luke Howe rounding out the top 10.
Wow.
And so you've only really got Sheridan, Brad Vanderdrift, Dave McCullough, and 2 Maguires ahead of Thomas Stones in the WRX last year.
Cool.
So yeah, pretty stiff competition, and that thing's going to be going naturally extremely quick.
Yeah. And the last of the competitors that's on the Motorsports Australia entrance portal, I'm not sure whether there's any more entrants that are not entered via the portal, but we'll try and update you on those as we can. But we've got Jackson Rogers in a 135i BMW, so that is a Class E car.
What does Class E mean? What, forced induction, but obviously rear-wheel drive? Is E-Class forced induction? Sorry, I'm looking at a picture of his car, and it looks immaculate instead of actually looking at the results.
Oh, that is a very
it's really nice.
Hillclimb, by the looks
I was going to
yeah.
say I don't recognise the road, but yeah, gorgeous blue-looking thing. And,
well, the 135 is only a smaller BMW, so I would say it's forced induction.
Yeah,
it wouldn't have like over 4.5 litres. I wouldn't have thought so. It'd be only a 2 litre or 2.5 or something like that, forced injection maybe. We'll have a little bit more of a look on that one. So any BMW was quick, and
that's going to be a pretty quick one, I think.
Yeah. So that'll be another one to look forward to. That's our 35 entries, which is probably about right.
I think so.
For this time of the year and being so far up the northwest coast. So thanks again to everyone that's come up from the south and the Midland, and also
the east coast, like Howard.
Yeah, the east coast, and there could be a club day on at Warwick up at the circuit up there, and I reckon Howard would be able to go up there and compete. So that wouldn't be a hassle to Howard Colvin in the MX5. So
not at all.
Very very good competitor, and he runs it in as many events as he possibly can. So that's the entrance list, and once again, big thank you to all the competitors, and let's have a nice safe day. So make sure 10:30 is the commencement of competition, so there are lots of things to sort out before then, and we also have fully catered kiosk available as well. So we have drinks and food, so thank you to the people that are arranging and running the kiosk to water and feed you during the day. Make sure everything's okay as far as your parking. There'll be plenty of people up in the pit area to show you where to park your car. Just get there nice and early, because it's a sizable pit area, but when you've got 34 potential trailers and tow cars and spectators and all those sort of things, we need to get it pretty well sorted out early so we can get on with the event, so everyone can move on for the rest of their day.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a long way away, but don't rock up late. Let's make Yvonne's life easy when she's getting us all signed in and everything, and whatever volunteers and officials are there, make sure you're nice and early so you can be assigned. There's so much fun to be had. And again, I'm just looking over last year's results, and I was thinking, I'm always hoping to come back to the same hill a year later, a year faster, and take a second off if I can. And I was looking at results and going, if I took a second off from last year, 55.7, I'm going to be quite well up there. But then you see there's a bunch of crazy new names and crazy new cars, and everyone else on the list is going to be going a second faster, I assume, as well too. So it's only just going to be pushing some of those old records. Again, this time last year, Eddie and Stephen Maguire brought the Evo and the Viper up, and Eddie set a course record, I do believe, in the Viper. I'll have to check that. We'll confirm that in our post-event wrap-up, where we will catch you then.
Yes. So once again, thank you very much to the Northwest Car Club. The event secretary is Yvonne Payne, so any questions, get in contact with Yvonne Payne. We also have Roger Carter is the chief scrutineer. Timekeepers is Dave Cleland and Matt Lettinen.
Good.
Did I get that right?
I wasn't going to bring it up, but yes, you did.
So the timekeepers for the day, Matt Lettinen.
Now you ballsed it up, yeah.
Lettinen. So Dave Lettinen.
That's what you said, yeah.
And Dave Cleland.
Legends.
The timekeepers and judge of facts. And of course, very big thanks to the clerk, of course, Stephen Mott. So thank you, Motty. Motty's right into his hill climbs, and we'd like to see the qual open wheeler maybe out one day again, please, Stephen, if you wouldn't mind. So
worth a point.
Yes, indeed.
If you've got this far Scroll back on the Northwest Car Club's Facebook page if that's where you found us from. If not, go check it out, because they've just posted some footage that Moddy's pulled out from his research for his Penguin Hillclimb book, and there's some old silent footage from, I think it's 1961, of cars running the Penguin Hillclimb that the Northwest Car Club Facebook page posted a couple of days ago. So have a scroll back and watch 90 seconds of that. It's incredible. It's in colour, even though it's silent, and there's some beautiful old cars upside down in ditches.
Yeah. So yeah, not a long piece of production, but
if you haven't seen it, you should. Cheers, Moddy.
Well worth a look. So yeah, a big thank you once again to Wayne Monson from Monson Transport in Ulverston for sponsoring the 2025 Black Tack Series.
And Igor Van Gerwen from the mighty Anvers, and may we see him back on the tarmac very shortly.
Definitely so. A big thank you again to Igor. So that's a wrap at this stage, everyone. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed episode 3 of RBR Australia Motorsport Talk. Thank you very much, Nathan, for appearing again. It's my pleasure that we were able to do this, and we will see you post-event on our next episode, which will be surprisingly episode 4, if my maths are correct.
Surprisingly, your maths is correct.
Yeah.
And I certainly hope I'm wearing a smile this big in the post-event wrap-up.
And the results are going to be really, really fascinating. So the weather looks pretty good for Saturday the 8th of March. We'll try and get there as soon as we can and get things sorted. So yeah, thank you very much. It's goodbye from us, and we will see you next time.